It's gonna be a bad movie night.
Woo! Bad movie night.
And this is what we have. Project Alf, starring Martin Sheen, Ed Begley Jr., some other lady, and Ray Walston.
Yeah, do you know him?
Yeah, that's My Uncle the Martian, or
My Stepmother, the Alien?
no, My Favorite Martian.
Oh, My Favorite Martian! Wow. Oh, he looks intense.
Yeah.
God, he looks serious.
Always angry.
His eyebrows are great, too. Look at her. She's so sweet. But then, once again, Ed Begley Jr. is a doctor. Is a doctor or a scientist, but an inventor, like he always does. Yeah. He's always wearing a white lab coat in a lot of his movies. White lab coat. And then, of course, Martin Sheen. I am a military man. Yes, I am.
Here's the back. You can see Martin Sheen.
Yeah, that is like a promo shot from every movie.
That's every movie Martin Sheen's ever been in.
Oh, Martin
And
Sheen.
I think this is Ed Begley.
Really
And there's Alf, looking like a weird furry monster. So, we have not watched this.
Nope. This is our prequel.
Yes. Okay, Nicole, what is this movie about?
So this movie, Project Alf, is about the alien, the military, the movie. Intense.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, on the front, dude, is epic.
Oh.
Yeah, it's intense.
Okay.
In Project Alf, that must represent. And it has a review from the Hollywood Reporter. At least a chuckle a minute. Ooh. And sometimes a giggle a second.
That's not good. I think they paid somebody to say that. And then they couldn't come up with anything good. So they were like, a chuckle a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's not hilarious. It's a chuckle a minute. So...
Yeah, but why would they put that as a headliner on their own DVD?
Because they suck. It's going to be terrible.
They're like, no one's going to believe us if we say that someone wrote a review and said, it's fucking hilarious. So it was as much as they thought that was believable.
They pushed it just enough. They're like, a chuckle a minute. So every minute you're going to go... or the Alf noise. How are we doing? I think I'm doing it better.
It's kind of like a hairball sound.
Because he does have hairballs. There's scenes where he goes...
Oh my God, really?
Because he eats cats. So he gets hairballs.
It's like when you excuse me, I just coughed up what I ate. And it was a cat.
Yeah.
It's a hairball.
And every episode always had that neighbor that had a cat and it was always like, where's Mip-Bit? And Alf would be like, not hungry anymore.
Yeah. And that's not...
He was a cat killer.
Yeah, he's a cat killer. It's not fucking funny. But it says people.
Enjoyable family entertainment, Hollywood Reporter, while preserving the flavor of the long-running series is even funnier. So this is post-series Alf. This is...
After.
People had already gotten sick of Alf. They canceled it and they were like...
But still, Martin Sheen was like, yes. Yeah. Yes, I take this role.
Yeah.
I love this idea.
I think Ed Begley Jr. just did anything during the 80s. And Transylvania 5000 and just garbage.
I know. Was he in a lab coat in that movie?
No, he's a reporter in that one. He's not a doctor.
Oh, yeah. Did he play any love scenes in any movies? Or love interest?
Actually, weirdly, in Transylvania 5000, Jeff Goldblum's former wife.
Oh, his
former wife. What's her name from
Minnie Driver?
No, from A League of Their Own and The Fly.
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis.
Did they get married after Earth Girls Are Easy? Did they get married after that movie?
I thought they were married for years, right?
They might be. I'm just wondering.
They're not married anymore.
No, but I bet that's where they met.
Yeah. But in Transylvania 5000, she plays a sexy Dracula, and it's... Ooh. Wow. Talk about where goth girl fetish came from. Gina Davis as a vampire in Transylvania 5000, but she's got the hots for Ed Begley, and it's so weird.
Oh, yes.
And she's just on him the whole movie, and you're like, well,
she's a vampire.
Her husband's is Jeff Goldblum, and the whole movie she's half naked with Ed Begley, trying to hump him. It's weird. Turns out in the end, she's actually
she's not even a vampire. She's a nymphomaniac.
She's a nymphomaniac.
Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
She will fuck. She wants to fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not Jeff Goldblum.
Not her husband.
In his prime.
And
she wants Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah, but this is a movie, right? You're not talking about real life. But Jeff Goldblum and her were married in real life also.
Yes, yes, for sure. Like,
and may I say, always Jeff Goldblum. Paul Fusco Productions.
That's not good.
How do you know that? The font?
That's just some guy.
If it's a guy's name. If it's a guy's name.
Yeah, that means something weird. Like, there's no MGM, but...
But he got Martin Sheen and Ed Begley Jr., so they must have some...
He took all that Alf money from the show.
Yeah.
And Paul Fusco is probably the creator of Alf, I guarantee you.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Executive producer Paul Fusco, Alf starring... Written by Tom Patchett and Paul Fusco.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
in association with Paul Fusco.
Yeah. So that's legit.
So that's probably Alf. I imagine that's the... Ha!
Who did the voice of Alf, you think?
The creator of Alf.
You think him? Oh, so that's
the creator of Alf actually did the voice of Alf. You would think they would bring him out of retirement, like they did with the Muppets and stuff, you know, like...
You think that Elf is in the same league as the Muppets?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's retro time. Like, we've had 80s remakes for a decade now.
That's
true. Alf hasn't appeared.
Elf, the show itself sucked.
Netflix would pick it up. Netflix will buy anything.
No, dude.
Yeah, they would.
Fuck no. Did you like Elf? The show? Maybe. How long did it run for?
I loved it as a kid.
Really?
It ran for 4 or 5 seasons. So it was substantial. Did you ever watch Permanent Midnight with Ben Stiller?
No, that sounds great though.
It's a great movie.
Oh.
It's fantastic. But it's about the guy who turned Alf around, Jerry Stahl. And he was a writer, but he was addicted to heroin. And he would and I think Owen Wilson's in it, and they're just shooting heroin all the time and writing Alf scripts.
You know what? I have seen this. I have seen that. Now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, it's really good, but it's about heroin, so you know it doesn't end well. Like,
well, I mean that explains a lot.
But he was
not
like,
there's anything wrong with doing. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say that, but not there's. It explains a lot.
Okay, this is all good conversation, but I can already tell this is going to be part 1. We're going to have to watch the movie in a part 2.
No, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Might have to... No, yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, we might have to redo part 1 also.
Dark points. I'm sorry.
Me and Nicole couldn't figure out...
No.
We couldn't figure out where the light was coming from. It's the phone. There we go.
I can never figure out shadows and lighting in phones. I'm going to read this to Ron.
Okay.
And then he's going to react.
Okay.
We're doing badly. We're trying.
It's going to be all right.
It's going to be good.
Okay.
It's a practice test.
And Jerry Stahl is also responsible for writing one of the worst movies of all time, Dr. Caligari, the 80s weird cafe flesh version.
Wow, God, you know a lot of
like
stuff.
Semi-pornographic.
Oh.
Yeah, it's there's like walls made of vaginas and stuff. That sounds good.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like, you know, like
it's the other great thing about that movie is that between every line they decided to do a stage direction. So a person will say a line and then move to another direction.